Someone tells you the meeting got moved to Thursday. And instead of just saying okay and moving on with your life like a normal human being, your brain immediately fires up with, but why? Was there a conflict? Did something happen? Is there a reason Thursday works better? And the person just stares at you like you asked them to solve a differential equation. They go, does it matter? It is just Thursday now. And you nod and smile, but inside, your brain is running 17 background tabs trying to figure out the logic behind a simple calendar change. Or maybe you are in school and the teacher says, this is the formula, just memorize it. And every other kid writes it down and moves on. But you are sitting there like, okay, but where did this formula come from? Why does it work? What happens if I change one of the variables? And the teacher looks at you like you are trying to start a revolution when all you wanted was to understand the thing you are being asked to learn. If this sounds like your entire life, if you have always been the person who cannot just accept things at face value, who needs to dig beneath the surface before your brain will even allow you to move forward, then congratulations. You are not difficult. You are not annoying. You are not overthinking. Your brain is literally wired differently from most people around you, and by the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly why that is one of the most powerful cognitive advantages a human being can have. Let me explain what is actually happening inside your head because it is fascinating. Most people operate on what psychologists call a shallow processing model. Information comes in, it gets a quick surface-level stamp of approval, and it gets filed away. Done. Efficient. No questions asked. But your brain does not do that. Your brain runs what we could call a deep processing architecture. Every piece of information that enters your mind gets flagged, examined, cross-referenced, and stress-tested before it is allowed to settle. It is like everyone else has a regular security checkpoint at the airport, and your brain is running full body scans, background checks, and asking the information where it was on the night of June 14th. This is not a malfunction. This is your prefrontal cortex, the most advanced part of your brain, running at a higher operational standard than average. And here is the kicker. Neuroscience shows that people with this trait literally do not get the same neurochemical reward from surface-level answers. Your brain does not release dopamine when you hear a shallow explanation. It waits. It holds out. Says, no, that is not enough, go deeper. And only when you reach a level of understanding that satisfies your internal threshold does your brain finally go, okay, now we are talking, here is your reward. You are basically the only person at the buffet whose brain refuses to eat the cheap appetizers because it knows the main course is coming. So let us break down exactly why your brain does this and why each layer of it is secretly a superpower. Number 1. You have what psychologists call a high epistemic drive. Epistemic drive is a fancy term for your brain's hunger for genuine understanding. Most people have a moderate level of this. They want to know enough to function, enough to get by, enough to pass the test. But your epistemic drive is cranked up to a level that most people cannot even comprehend. You do not want to know what. You want to know why. And not just why, but why that why and what is underneath that why. It is layers all the way down for you. And this is not a learned behavior. Research suggests this is deeply rooted in your neurology. Your brain has a higher baseline need for cognitive closure, but only the real kind. Fake closure, like someone saying that is just how it is, actually creates more discomfort for you than having no answer at all. Your brain would rather sit in uncertainty than accept a lazy explanation. And that is incredibly rare. Number 2. Your default mode network is hyperconnected. The default mode network is the part of your brain that activates when you are not focused on a specific external task. It is your daydreaming network, your what-if network, your I wonder why network. In most people, this network is moderately active. In you, it is basically running a 24/7 think tank. This is why you can be in the shower and suddenly start wondering why certain languages have gendered nouns, or why traffic lights are the colors they are, or what would happen to the economy if everyone suddenly stopped eating bread. Your brain does not have an off switch for curiosity because your default mode network keeps feeding questions into your conscious awareness even when you are not trying to think about anything. Most people experience silence in their downtime. You experience a TED Talk that never ends. And while that can be exhausting, it also means your brain is constantly making connections that other people miss. You are not overthinking. You are overconnecting. And that is a completely different thing. Number 3. You have low tolerance for cognitive shortcuts, and that makes you almost impossible to fool. Your brain resists something called the availability heuristic, which is the mental shortcut most people use where they just accept whatever information is most easily available or most recently heard. Someone says something with confidence and most brains go, sounds good, must be true. Your brain goes, wait, that does not track, let me verify. This is why you were probably the kid in class who questioned the teacher. Not because you were being disrespectful, but because your brain genuinely detected an inconsistency and could not let it go. It is like everyone else is using a basic spam filter for information, and your brain is running enterprise-level cybersecurity. Nothing gets through without proper authentication. And in a world that is absolutely drowning in misinformation, surface-level opinions, and confident people who have no idea what they are talking about, your brain's refusal to just go along with things is not a flaw. It is an evolutionary advantage that most people wish they had but cannot access. Number 4. Your need for deep understanding is actually tied to superior long-term memory encoding. Here is something most people do not know. When you force your brain to understand the why behind something, you are engaging what neuroscientists call elaborative encoding. This means you are not just storing the information, you are storing it with a rich web of connections, context, and meaning. Think of it like this. Most people save a file on their desktop with no folder, no label, no tags. Good luck finding it later. You save every file inside a deeply organized system where everything connects to everything else. This is why you might struggle to memorize random facts that have no logical foundation, but once you understand something deeply, you remember it forever. Your brain is not bad at memorizing. Your brain refuses to memorize without understanding because it knows that understanding is the superior storage method. You are not slow. You are thorough. And thorough beats fast every single time in the long run. Number 5. Evolutionary biology actually needed people exactly like you for the species to survive. Here is something that will reframe your entire self-image. In ancestral human groups, the majority of people were designed to follow established patterns. Do what works. Do not ask questions. Just survive. But every group also needed a small percentage of individuals who would stop and say, wait, why are we doing it this way? What if there is a better path? What if this water source is not safe even though we have always used it? Those people, the questioners, the ones who could not just accept things, they were the ones who drove innovation, prevented disasters, and pushed the entire group forward. You are carrying that same neurological blueprint. You are not a glitch in the system. You are the upgrade the system depends on but does not always appreciate in real time. The world is not set up to reward your kind of thinking immediately. It rewards quick compliance, fast answers, and surface-level confidence. But history consistently shows that the people who changed everything, who invented, discovered, and revolutionized, were the ones who could not stop asking why. You are in very good company. So the next time someone rolls their eyes at you for asking too many questions, the next time someone tells you to just accept it and move on, the next time you feel like something is wrong with you because your brain will not let you take the easy road, I want you to remember this. Your brain is not broken. Your brain is running a more advanced operating system than most people around you. It demands depth. It requires logic. It refuses to be fed cheap answers when it knows that real understanding exists. That is not a weakness. That is the kind of mind that builds things, solves things, and sees what everyone else misses. You are not difficult. You are deep. And the world desperately needs more of that. Now here is what I want you to do. Drop a comment below and tell me, are you Team Y, the person who always needs to understand the reason behind everything? Or are you Team OK, the person who can just accept things and move on? I already know which team most of you are on because you watched this entire video, and that tells me everything. If this video made you feel seen, hit that subscribe button because every single week on this channel we break down the psychology behind why your brain works the way it does. And we prove that the things you have been told are your weaknesses are actually your greatest strengths. Now click the video on your screen right now because I made it specifically for brains like yours.